Greetings, Tino here. I live in Cape Town, right here in the CBD. And in case you haven't heard of this, accommodation in Cape Town is quite reasonable, actually. Yeah. I pay 7,000 rands a month for rent to live in town in a studio apartment. So that's 7,000 rands for a big room. Wow, that's a duck right there. Check this out. And there is a wild creature. It is walking along. Okay, as I was saying, I pay 7,000 rands a month for a studio apartment. That's one big room. It's a fairly decent sized room. And actually in winter, my electricity bill averages at about 1,000 rands a month, which is twice as much as it is during summer. And this is after putting a lot of effort in saving energy. But you know, like Cape Town electricity is also quite expensive, eh? If you ask anyone in Cape Town, they will tell you that I have a really great deal, 7,000 rands for the location, security, and just convenience of staying in town. 7,000 rands is a killer deal. If you plan on living by yourself in Cape Town, not just in the CBD, but anywhere in Cape Town, then make sure to budget at least, you know, like 8,000 rands a month. Of course, after a long search, you're gonna find, you know, those good deals. But yeah, like Cape Town accommodation is quite brutal. But here's the best part for us acting adults. The average starting salary for a graduate, a university graduate, is 125,000 rands a year, which is about 10,500 rands per month before taxes. Engineering and science degrees apparently have the highest starting salaries, which go up to 237,000 rands. And that's about 20-ish thousand rands a month. So you're gonna have to pay taxes, accommodation, food. Let's just add in a car there just to spice things up. God forbid if you plan on getting married and having children and buying a house, there's a good chance you probably owe somebody money for those school fees. There's also this thing they call black tax. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. Anyways, it's not all bad news. But that's a starting salary. As you get more experience, you also get paid a bit more. Each time you get promoted, you know, yada, yada, yada. I'm not gonna dive into the numbers because they're all over the place anyways. But one thing I can guarantee you is this. Most of us are not satisfied with our paycheck. And I don't think I'm going to be satisfied with my paycheck anytime soon. Actually, I don't think I've met anyone who's satisfied with their paycheck. For a lot of people, side hustles are not optional. They are necessary in order to survive and not go into debt. This bird doesn't want to go away. Creepy ass bird. Survival is not the only reason that you might want a side hustle, you know. Some people do it because they need to supplement their income. A lot of people start side hustles at something that they intend on eventually growing into something serious. You know, they dream of leaving the nice, comfortable 9-to-5 job and pursue that side hustle full time. That's the thing. For some people, side hustles are activities and hobbies they enjoy doing, and you know that can be very important, especially if you have a day job that you don't particularly enjoy or a day job that doesn't really stimulate your brain. As for me personally, I hate walking. I've mentioned this before in my lifestyle video. I have a very expensive hobby. I want to travel, but most importantly, I'm not really comfortable being completely reliant on one source of income. If that one source of income disappears, things will go wrong in my life. Like my life will just go downhill quite instant. I would like to build significant and very reliable alternative sources of income. That's my dream, and only then will I call myself financially independent. However, side hustles are hard. Jesus. Every single time I come across a video or article of somebody who has a flourishing side hustle, I'm just like, how? When I get home after 9 to 10 hours of work, I just want to chill. I don't want to work. There are periods of work where I'll be pushing super hard for like a promotion or working on a project. The last thing I want to do when I get home is sit down and continue working. During these periods, my side hustles tend to take a break. You know, they go on the side for a bit whilst I focus on my main job. A successful side hustle is hard. It's a lot of work. I know it's gonna take me a long time until I can actually have a reliable side hustle. It's gonna take a while. If you're struggling with coming up with a side hustle or maintaining a side hustle, if you already have one, I want you to know this. It's very normal. It turns out making money is a lot of work, eh? On top of the 40 plus hours you're putting in at your day job, you're going to have to put in extra waking hours on top of that. On the weekends, after work, in the evenings. Here's a few tips that I've used that have worked really well for me. Number one, have a schedule and stick to it. Have a realistic schedule. Give yourself time to rest, give yourself time to actually work and reward yourself. And speaking of rewarding yourself, number two, make sure you have milestones and you celebrate each of those milestones. This is going to help with your motivation, and it's easier to work on something. Three, don't try to do too many things at the same time. It's not a good idea. Choose one or two things to focus on, and focus on being good at those one or two things. This also allows you to allocate more time to that one or two thing, and even during times where you don't have that much time to work on something, or you're tired or whatever, at least you have one thing to do. And lastly, be patient. Great Zimbabwe was not built in a day. Many side hustles will require you to do a lot of work before you start realizing any profits from them. Marques Brownlee, if you don't know him, MKBHD, is a very big YouTuber on this platform here. It took him 100 videos to get his first 75 subscribers. You will hear this story from a lot of successful people, and I'm not talking about just success in money and being wealthy, but literally anything. A degree, it requires a lot of work. Getting a good paying job, that requires a lot of work with nothing in return until you get that job. To some extent, even marriage has a lot of work in the beginnings, and I don't know, is that really a good example? Okay, fellow adults, acting adults, soon to be adults. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a comment, say hi to your boy, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be releasing videos every week. Before you leave, YouTube really thinks you're gonna like this video right here. And if you've already watched that one, maybe try this one here. Okay, you have a good day.